So good morning. In the previous class we discussed regarding the calculation of outright rates and we solved one problem, that is the problem number 1, the calculation of outright rate computation. Now that we done with one problem and we have the second problem which is same as the problem number 1, but there is one difference between these two problems. So what was the difference is nothing but the difference is in this question two rates are given. One is bid rate, one is ask rate, and the full is given. It is 88.9410, 88.9426. Bid is given, ask is given. They are given the spread points or swap points, we call it as swap points. What we need to do, we need to check whether RHS is greater or LHS is greater. We need to solve with the rules. That is one thing. This is 12 is nothing but the last two digits, 20 is nothing but last two digits. If RHS is greater, we are going to add it. If LHS is greater, we need to deduct it. So that is a rule. But in the first problem, bid is given, ask is given in the full forms, full is given. But what is the difference? The one more difference is here they are given for 3 months. That is for 3 months means 90 days. Only one calculation is given. But in the problem number 2, there are two things. One is only one rate is given. For one more 30 is given. I will tell what it is. The one more is in the first problem 90 days was given or 3 months. In this problem they are given three things. 30 days, 90 days, 180 days. We need to calculate the forward rate for 3 separate days. But in the previous problem for 3 months it was given. Then or else you can write 1 month, 3 months or 6 months. That's also fine. Done. You know the difference. First one is bid and ask was given in the last problem, but now only bid is given. For ask they are given only 30. Done. So how you can write this amount? How you can write this amount? So in the previous problem they had given bid equals 88.9410, ask is nothing but 88.9426. This is smaller, so it is called as bid or buying rate. Ask, this is bigger, 9426, this is bigger value, so it is considered as ask or sell, bid or buy rate. Done. Both rates are given, but in this problem only one rate is given. You can see that only one rate, which is the rate. The rate is pound per dollar, that is 2.0015. Only this rate is given. Where is one more ask rate, or where is one more rate? Only 30 is given. This is not minus, there is just hyphen. 30 is given. What is that? 30 means last two digits. How we can write this amount? 2.0030. Take for example, instead of 30, 20 is given. How we can write this to amount? 2.0020. If it is 40, 2.0040. Understood? This 30 is nothing but decimal. How you can write? 2.0030. Same you have to write, but 30 is last two digits. Understood? Now the first one is 2.0015, that is nothing but bid rate. Then 30 is given. 30 is nothing but we can write it as 2.0030. It is nothing but ask. One question is done. One step is done. Next we have swap points. For 30 days this is swap points, for 90 days this is swap points, for 180 days this is swap points. And this swap points two numbers is given, that is 19 and 17. This is nothing but 0.0019. This is nothing but 0.0017. This 19 is nothing but last two digits. Done. This is nothing but 0.0019 or 0.0017. So, to solve this problem, the important is nothing but the step number one is you need to identify this LHS and RHS. We need to compare LHS with RHS. First you can write down maturity 30 days. Bid is nothing but bid is this amount 2.0015. For ask, this is bid, this is ask only 30 is given, only 30 is given. 30 can be written as 2.0030. Spread is nothing but there is a formula ask minus bid divided by ask into 100. We can solve it later. This 2 is given. Then the swap points for 30 days is given 19 and 17. You verify this is LHS, this is RHS. Which is greater? 19 is greater or 17 is greater? This is LHS, this is LHS, this is RHS. Here LHS is greater. Left hand side is greater, that is 19 is greater. If 19 is greater, what is the rule? What is the rule? Here there is a rule. If LHS is greater, this rule. If RHS is greater, this rule. Hope you can understand this one. What you need to do, you need to verify swap points, whichever is greater, whether RHS is greater or LHS is greater. In 30 days swap points, LHS is greater, that is 19 is greater. If 19 is greater, if LHS is greater, this rule follows. The unit currency is at discount, the variable currency is at premium, and differential are deducted. Got it? Take for example, suppose in the swap points, this is 19, this is 17. If this is 19 and this is 17, what was the scenario? Scenario will be number 1. Here RHS is greater, then you need to add it. But as per the problem, as per the swap points, 19 and 17, LHS is greater. If LHS is greater, what we need to do? We need to come here. Then the differential, whatever the difference we get in bid and ask, we are going to deduct it. Done? We need to deduct it. So we need to write the swap points is, the first one is related to bid, second one is related to ask. This 19 can be written as 0.0019. 17 is related to ask 0.0017. What we need to do, as per the rules, LHS is greater. If LHS is greater, we need to deduct it. If RHS is greater, then add it. Simple. Done. Then write down 2.0019, 2.0015 minus 0.19, that is 1.9996, 2.0030 minus 217, 2.0013. We're done with this. We got bid and ask. From bid and ask, what we can calculate? We can calculate the spread percentage. For calculation of spread percentage, we have the formula. What is the formula? Ask rate minus bid rate divided by ask rate into 100 for 30 days. For 30 days equals, what is the ask rate? Ask rate is 2.0013 minus bid rate is 19996 divided by ask is 2.0013 into 100. We will get 0.08494%. Then this is the first one. This is nothing but spread percentage. You can write it down here. 0.08494%. You are done with 30 days. Next, one more is 90 days. Write down 90 days. Then first, what you need to do for 90 days, again you write the same thing. Don't come with here. For first one only we have 3 things. For second one also we have 3 things. Done. Next, First you write on bid and ask rate. Bid rate is directly given in the problem. For ask rate 30 is given. This 30 is nothing but 2.0030. Or if you have any kind of confusion, we can, this is bid rate, ask is nothing but 2.0030, or simply they are given 30. Don't get confused. If any doubts, you can ask me. Done. Here 2.0030. The bid and ask rate will remain same for all the things 30, 90, 180. This bid and ask will remain same, but swap points is different. Done. Here come to the swap points. Verify which is greater, RHS is greater or LHS is greater. As per the problem number 2, here 26 is greater, that means LHS is greater. If LHS is greater, what we need to do? We need to deduct it. Here deduct it. If RHS is greater, we need to deduct it. So minus what is the swap points? 26 is related to bid, 22 is related to ask. 26 can also be written as 0.0026, 0.0022. Deduct it, we will get 1.9989, we get 2.00. We got to bid and ask. We need to calculate spread percentage. Come for how many days? This is for 90 days. What we need to do? Equals ask minus divided by ask into 100 is nothing but what is the ask rate? 0.008 minus 1.9989 divided by bid 2.008 into 100. If we calculate, we get 0.09496%. This is a spread percentage. Then so this is a spread percentage, we'll get greater than 0.09496%. Done. We are done with 2 number of days. Last one is 180 days is there. What you need to do? You need to write 180 days. First you write down bid rate, write down the ask rate. As I told you, these two rates will remain same for all the number of days. Then you need to verify this RHS and LHS. Here again LHS is greater. In all the scenarios LHS is greater. If LHS is greater, what we need to do? We need to deduct the amount. We need to deduct the amount. So what we need to deduct? We need to deduct what is the rate? 42 and 35. 42 is nothing but 0.0042. 35 is nothing but 0.0035. 0.0042, 0.0035. If we deduct, we'll get 1.9973 and 1.1995. We got bid and ask rate. What we need to do? We need to go with spread percentage. This is for 180 days. This is bid rate. This is ask rate. 1.9995 minus 1.9973 divided by 1.9995 into 100. If we calculate, we will get 0.1100%. This percentage is written here. 0.1100%. Done. For the first one pound and dollar, we calculated the forward rate plus spread percentage for 30 days, 90 days, 180 days. Done. Like we calculated for the first one, we need to calculate for the second one also. The same format. You need to write, and you need to write maturity, bid, ask, spread For 30 days same, 30 days, 90 days, 180 days, it is different, but the change is this one, bid and ask rate will change. Done. So after calculation of outright rates of the forward rates and the spread percentage, you need to write the conclusion. How you will write the conclusion? You can write it for single one, or you can write the conclusion for everything. Done. You can write the conclusion that I will share you. And one more thing, for the second one we need to calculate, that is for Swiss francs and dollar. This is Swiss francs and dollar. So for you the confusion is this rate, writing this rate, but in the problem number 1 the rates were directly given in the full form they used to give, but here bid rate is given in the full form but ask rate is given only 68. 68 is nothing but, here bid rate is given 0.0963, ask rate only 68 is given. This 68 is nothing but 0.69 is common, for last two digit is 68. Now the maturity is 30 days, 90 days, 180 days, and you need to check these two. Here only one number is given. One number is given means last digits only. 4 and 6 compare, which is greater? RHS is greater. Done. RHS is greater. If RHS is greater, this is the rule or this is the scenario. What is the scenario? You need to add it back. Done. How we can add? 4 is related to first one, 6 is related to second one. We need to add it. How we can add? Only this 4 and 6 is given. 4 is nothing but 0.0004, 0.0006. 4 and 6 means related to last digits only. If it is 40 and 60, 4060. Hope you can understand, nothing else is there. If one number is given, it is related to last digits. If two digits are given, it is related to last two digits. And in the spot rate also, if one rate is given in the full form, if one more is given in 30, what we need to do? We need to just change the last two digits for ask rate. The rest remaining is always same. So basically in this problem, what you need to identify is nothing but first one is the bid rate, second one is the ask rate. You need to identify. Then you need to identify, first you need to identify these two rates. If directly given, no need to worry about this. Just see the swap points, see the rules, which is greater. Then if the differential is added back, you can add it. If you want to deduct it, you want to deduct as per the rules. One more is this one. First you need to identify ask and bid rate. Then one more is see the swap points, which is greater. Then you need to do the calculations and write the conclusion. Conclusion I will share in the group. So thank you. You need to do this 4. This is your homework. First one is calculated. Same like first one, you need to calculate for second one. Okay, thank you.